Hello and welcome back to another video. Magic Cat today, back in another crypto video. Hope you guys do well, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another banger video where we're going to be talking about the latest and greatest crypto news, and of course talking about PulseChain. What do we have in store for us in the next cycle, in the next leg up in PulseChain? I'm going to be giving you guys my soft price predictions of that and which tokens I'm holding personally as well. So watch the whole video through, click the notification button, subscribe for more videos like this. I know I haven't uploaded any videos in the past few handful days. I've been kind of busy, but at the same time I have been cooking, as they say. So yeah, definitely watch out for them. My next videos, they're gonna be bangers for sure. But before we jump into the PulseChain side of things, and before we jump into the crypto side of things, actually, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to my members, the YouTube members who are choosing to support my small channel. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you guys, and I love all the support. Remember, if you do need any help from me or want me to answer questions, you can reach out to my Telegram. Link in the description. I have my username, same thing as my email. You can reach out to me through my email. Join my Telegram group chat where you can ask questions to not just me, to the rest of the community as well, for anything. If you want to share the projects that you're interested in as well. So yeah, but looking at the crypto market today, things like Ethereum, Bitcoin is actually looking quite green, almost 2.5 on each side. PulseChain is looking also green here. Again, remember, things like the Art's law, Bitcoin directly affects Ethereum, and of course Ethereum directly affects PulseChain due to the liquidity bonding between them two as well, and of course the fact that PulseChain is a leverage of Ethereum, guys. Okay, you need to understand that for sure. But looking at the prices, about Bitcoin is looking really strong, actually 67.8 thousand. Ethereum on the other hand is still struggling in that 3.2k range. Now the reason why Bitcoin actually today is actually doing quite well is, one of the reasons is, of course, the Bitcoin conference of 2024 is happening as we speak. I'm going to be showing us a few highlight moments, and I'm also looking forward to Trump, his side of the speech as well when he gets to that. So looking at the, are we in the alt season? Okay, definitely not, by the way, because of course Bitcoin still has a lot of room for growth, and of course Ethereum still has a lot of room for growth. So we're not expecting alt season, I wouldn't say, any time in the next month or two by the minimum, but doesn't mean that we're not going to see any pumps, because I did say, of course, as Ethereum goes up, it will take a lot of things with it in tandem, i.e. PulseChain and all its other, basically leverages of PulseChain itself, which we're going to be getting into in this video. So yeah, this is one of my main reasons, because I've seen people, I've spoken with people that, they tell me about they're getting the FOMO effect and stuff like that. They're thinking, oh, okay, well, if Solana was the main narrative of this bull run, I should only buy in Solana, and then etc etc. No, that is not what I would do, because I do think there's going to be another turn for another network. It won't be Solana, and we will see the early days of Solana somewhere else. It actually could be in PulseChain, okay? But I don't think it will happen. I think PulseChain will definitely, we can wait, honestly, till the end of this year, or almost till the beginning of 2025. We will have our own turn. Do remember that. And of course, we have the information asymmetry. This is why you subscribe to this channel. We know that Richard Hart is longing Ethereum, literally 172,000 Ethereum. We have the wallets here. I have them in bundles where I can personally look at them every single day and monitor them. You can see how many Ethereum it is holding, 98,000. And then you can add this one, 51,000 Ethereum, and then you can add this holding right here, plus 20,000. Okay, and then you can see that here I have around 34 addresses so far. There might be more addresses, but I think 34 is around that number. And then 4.2 thousand. Okay, by the time Ethereum goes to the 7k plus, all this holdings will be worth over $1 billion. Okay, enough money, by the way. This is almost 10 times more money than the Avalanche network that launched, by the way, that created its own mini bull run. Yeah, we will have 10 times more of that. Okay, it will force a separate altcoin season for just PulseChain, and that by effect will gain a lot of people, because a lot of people's attention, because people like to buy the green candles. Okay, not like us, you and me here, which we like to look into where's the masses, not where are the masses going to rather than where are they now. Okay, you want to front run the 99% of the rest of the crypto traders and investors. This is why being in PulseChain, I feel very convicted to it, because I do know that I have the information asymmetry. I know what a lot of people don't know about PulseChain. Okay, what makes it super unique, it's not just another fork, it's not just another L1, it's a full system state copy with its own, you know, tokens that have been cloned, never been done before. We have narratives that's not possible anywhere else. We have the largest crypto airdrop where, you know, 90% chance where a new onboarder has an airdrop waiting for him as well. Okay, now this is a freemium kind of thing that hasn't really worked out with onboarding people, but in terms of the other things that came with PulseChain, such as the stablecoin narrative, you know, they got the ATROPA system. We got people that are choosing to participate and contribute and build on PulseChain than anywhere else, because they know PulseChain is the most undervalued. PulseChain is actually the freedom blockchain. Richard Hart is fighting the fight about, you know, freedom of speech. You know, code is speech as well. The stuff that's happening with Hex, him and the SEC lawsuit, etc. Okay, and then obviously the different influencers, KOLs that we have on here, like, you know, for example, Somi, you got B Roots, and tons of other people. So yeah, honestly, one of my main things that I do like about PulseChain is the fact that we have like almost 200 content creators and streamers, very consistent. And then obviously we are part of the Hex community, a community that survived a 99% drop, yet the community is basically still alive. It's basically a cult, and that's what you want with a crypto community. So it's actually pretty sick. You know what I mean? I feel pretty sick. I sleep very good at night, guys. Okay, I sleep very good at night knowing that almost, you know, 80% of my crypto portfolio is in PulseChain. Okay, so yeah, but without further ado, okay, we know about the sacrifice funds. I don't want to explain it too much. I've explained it multiple times. Maybe I'll make a separate video on this to have as a reference. But as we move on to things like, for example, crypto today, the total crypto market cap is 2.3, almost at all-time high of the previous bull run. But of course, doesn't mean that we're at the top. Bitcoin is not reaching the top. No. Don't be you know, fooled by that, because of course every bull run we make new highs, but at the same time we have to anticipate for the, you know, maturation and the diminishing returns, etc. So honestly, using the Fibonacci retracements, because I have to take into account the diminishing returns, etc., etc. I truly do think that we can predict around 7 to 10 to 11, you know, 7 to 11 trillion market cap around the peak of the bull run. Now, again, do remember that that peak can actually be for just a few days to weeks, and that's it, and then it would kind of fall back down, as you guys can see right here. In terms of, oh, are we gonna have two peaks this bull run? Absolutely cannot tell you guys. Yeah, I wouldn't bet on that really. But yeah, moving on, obviously same thing kind of with the Bitcoin dominance, keeping an eye on that. These are two really great metrics, looking at the, of course, the total crypto market cap, looking at the Bitcoin dominance. You know, we want that to fall, which will be a major indication of the alt season kickstarting. We're not going to expect it anytime soon, as I did say, around a month to two before we start rallying on that. But any movement in the Ethereum side will be very beneficial for us. It's a direct correlation with PulseChain, by the way. So that's the really great thing about it. And of course, Ethereum to Bitcoin, you can see actually is kind of been falling down, because now Bitcoin is kind of growing quicker at a higher rate than Ethereum. Again, I think it will pick up very soon as well. But finally, I just wanted to jump into this topic, which is, of course, you know, there's really two ways where you look at things, either if it's a half full or a half empty glass of water. So you have people like this. Ethereum is in a limbo. Ethereum failed to scale the L1 while Solana rapidly gains ground. L2 scaling isn't adding value to Ethereum. Low Ethereum burn, fragmented liquidity, worse UX. Airdrop farming isn't enticing anymore. Even ETFs couldn't ignite FOMO for Ethereum, right? This is one side where you can, you know, talk about what's going on right now. The other side here, where you have high stakes capital, BlackRock BlackRock don't think there will be a long list of crypto ETFs. The next ETF, if there is one, must capture a large part of the crypto market to just start getting on the radar. It's a good medium to long-term spot bet for large holders. It also strengthens the Ethereum ETF's position, and despite the hate and the ETH outflows, I think ETH will soon catch up big. Will sailors start buying? It's easier. That's a big if. It's easy to be persuaded otherwise, given his stance on the subject, but his tone about Ethereum has already changed, and that is actually very true. Meanwhile, let's see what Trump has in store tomorrow. Exciting time ahead of us for the bulls. So super exciting, honestly, stuff like this. So this is what I mean, right? You know, you can have a black-pilled approach to you know, kind of like an open-minded approach. Okay, so keep that in mind, guys. We are in the bull run. Didn't touch the top of the bull run. So it would be very foolish for people to start being actually bearish. Okay, I understand these are times where it's tough, but my one piece of advice is you have to choose something to believe in. Believe in something. I choose to believe in PulseChain. I choose to believe in Richard Hart, and I'm very confident in that because the type of man that he is, basically, you know, fighting the decentralization. The guy's been tweeting about, you know, the centralized exchanges and how they're hacked and stuff like that. You know what I mean? We are one of the only networks that have actually applied the IPFS, the true decentralization solutions out there. And guys, in all honesty, PulseX is one of the best passive income farms because, of course, of the trust factor as well. This is one of the only farms that I actually truly do trust a large amount of money to be deposited in. Okay, imagine having an 80.7% APR during low volume days in PulseChain. Okay, I gotta be quite frank with you guys. You know what I mean? Our volume hasn't been the highest the past few days and weeks. Okay, you know, our active users in PulseChain has kind of been around, like, you know, just around that 10,000 wallets per day active users, but you can still, it's been still printing 80.69% APR. This is for a Pulse/USDT. Pulse is already like kind of a slow mover. It's the native token. USDT is literally a stable coin. So that is minimum risk, minimum impermanent loss. Of course, it's still not financial advice. It's still not guaranteed. You know what I mean? And you can go in other stable coins as well, or other farms. But this is beautiful because, of course, like, look at this. I mean, I know it's very hard to just get X amount of money to put into this, but if, you know, with the power of DCAing, if someone invested $10,000 into the farm, you would actually be making basically $1,000 per month. Now, do keep in mind that this is $1,000 paid in INC, and we're going to be getting into in a second with INC. Where is it? I believe it's right here. INC, ladies and gentlemen, this is a token that is super exciting to be part of. It's part of Richard Hart core ecosystem. Okay, it has yearly halvings, kind of like Bitcoin, but instead of every 4 years, it's actually every year. So yeah, of course it starts super inflationary, but do remember, when was the best time to invest in Bitcoin? Of course, it was when inflation was at its highest, right? Bitcoin like launched around, I don't know, a cent or 10 cents. So yeah, keep that in mind. Kind of the same thing happening with INC. Super exciting stuff. You're asking me what is my price prediction for this in terms of short to mid term, basically, right? Maybe like end of year. I can see INC reaching the, you know, $35, you know, I would say $35 to $50, I guess, by end of year. But in terms of like, okay, long-term vision, kind of like end goal type of INC price prediction, for me, aspirational, it would basically be around that $300 range. That would be absolutely amazing. It would be life-changing money. So do remember, having the farms, you're earning an asset that is appreciative within itself. Okay, so that's actually pretty sick itself. So you can imagine, you know, this is 80% APR, but if INC did a 10x, your holdings would effectively have meant that you've been actually receiving 800% APR. You know what I mean? That's the mindset that you need to have. Long-term mindset. Don't really worry about the short-term price, you know, action. So yeah, keep that in mind. This is how you win big, by the way, in the bull runs, guys. Okay, you can't be spending too much time doing day trading, swing trading to make a small 10%, plus 15%, plus 20%, plus 50%. Okay, the biggest winners are the people who are hodling. You know what I mean? Buy and hold through the dips, through the FOMO. Okay, through the uncertainty, through the doubt. DCA is the game, guys. Okay, no financial advice, but that's what I'm doing. Okay, so yeah, these are the two different ways where you can look at a glass of water. Is it half full, half empty? Yeah, be optimistic, be open-minded. We are in a bull run at the end of the day, guys. Super exciting times ahead of us, to be honest with you. But yeah, going into it, there's two okay, there's two sides here, where you got Kamala here saying Bitcoin is for criminals. Literally, she said that. And then you got people like Donald Trump saying the US needs a strategic Bitcoin reserve. Okay, so yeah, who are you voting for? Again, I don't want to make this a political channel. Either way, I'm not actually in the US, so I can't really vote for anyone. But I would vote for Trump. Okay, I don't want to make this political, but I'm just saying, you know what I mean? By the way, it's fun fact that US already owns 200,000 Bitcoin, by the way. So it's just a matter of, can we move it to the, you know, kind of like the balance sheet of the reserve. Pretty cool stuff, honestly. And then you have here, by the way, this is the Bitcoin 2020 Bitcoin conference 2024. You got, these are the speakers. Shout out to Robert F. Kennedy, by the way. Super, like, absolute badass guy, honestly. Very patriotic. And of course, Michael Saylor. We have a few clips here, and shout out to Edward Snowden. Like, what? I watched the movie, a really great movie. And of course, Vivek, etc., and everyone else. And of course, I'm super excited to see what Donald Trump has to say. But looking at the highlights of Bitcoin conference, by the way, before we kind of continue with PulseChain, we have this clip from Michael Saylor, okay, giving us his Bitcoin price prediction by 2024, saying that it will reach 14.9 million. By the way, keep this in mind, even for me, a person who doesn't hold that much Bitcoin, or I used to hold actually way more. I used to hold, but anyways, from like, this will directly affect everything else. Okay, this is very bullish, actually. You know, as I said, you know, Hart's law, Bitcoin goes up, Ethereum goes up, Ethereum goes up. You know, it's the digital oil. PulseChain will go up as well, because when people, you know, get opened up to, you know, the barriers lowered for crypto, they're gonna look at Bitcoin and be like, whoa, you know, this is actually being spoken a lot about. It's on the balance sheet. They're gonna go into it. You know, institutional investors, retail investors, they want to have a part of that as well. You know, they want a part of that, you know, hedge against inflation. Now they're gonna start thinking about, okay, I want to make more money with this. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I made a nice 2x with Bitcoin. I want to make more money. They're gonna start shopping around, guys. Okay, and then this is where they can stumble upon PulseChain, right? They want to be part of something. They want to, you know, be part of something, you know, part of a sick group, contribute to something, and they'll, you know, I mean, like, they'll look into the motivations behind PulseChain, the fact that it's fighting for freedom. Richard Hart, the type of man he is, with true decentralization, he speaks the truth. He doesn't pay, you know, shillers to talk about his network. He never paid it, unlike, you know, for example, Solana, for example, Polkadot, you know what I mean? XRP is selling on people's heads. Ethereum Foundation is selling on people's heads. Okay, same thing with XRP, you know what I mean? Chainlink. Okay, PulseChain never did that. PulseChain has never sold on anyone's heads. Okay, matter of fact, we have original addresses that are holding tokens to remove it from the circulating supply. Okay, to make it safer for everyone, to make it more scarce. We have PulseX, which is burning as well, deflationary. Super different, so many different reasons why PulseChain is super exciting, by the way. But this is what Michael Saylor had to say.
But what's happening? Here's my macro Bitcoin forecast. It's 21 years. Goes out to the year 2045. What do I think will happen? Well, I've got a bear case and a bull case, but what I think will happen is that 55% ARR goes to 50%, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20. It's between 50 and 20. It'll gradually decelerate till it's growing about twice as fast as the S&P index. And at that rate, Bitcoin's $13 million a coin in the year 2045. 13 million. It could be a 3 million bear case. It could be a 49 million bull case. But what is Bitcoin? 7% of the world's assets then. What about the rest of the assets? Well, I actually think that AIs and technology are going to revolutionize tech. We had no companies worth $1 trillion, then we had a bunch of trillion-dollar companies. You're going to see more because you're going to see companies with 100,000 AIs and no employees, and they're going to do the work of companies that used to have 100,000 employees. You're going to see mega corps develop, shipping robots and self-driving cars and
Well, that was very bullish, honestly, from Michael Saylor himself. Another clip from Robert Kennedy, ladies and gentlemen. This is actually very bullish, talking about what he would do if he did become and got elected as president. We're going to be playing a few clips here and there.
Hello, Bitcoiners. I am so glad to be back from my second Bitcoin conference. Since last year in Miami, I've been meeting with leaders and thinkers from this community. I've conferred with Bitcoin miners, with policymakers, with economists, with financial experts, with investors and developers and entrepreneurs to deepen my understanding of the extraordinary promise of Bitcoin for our country and for our planet. After all I've learned, I intend, as President of the United States, to sign an executive order on day one, directing the Department of Justice and the U.S. Marshals to transfer the approximately 200,000 Bitcoin held by the U.S. government to the United States Treasury, where it will be held as a strategic asset.
W.
On day one as president, I will sign another executive order directing the U.S. Treasury to purchase 550 Bitcoin daily until the U.S. has built a reserve of at least 4 million Bitcoins.
Jeez.
And a position of dominance that no other country will be able to usurp. Our nation holds approximately 19% of global gold reserves. This policy will give us about the same proportion of total Bitcoin. The cascading impact from these actions will eventually move Bitcoin to a valuation of hundreds of trillions of dollars. On day one as president,
Hundreds
I
of
will
trillions,
sign
guys.
also an executive order directing the IRS to issue public guidelines that all transactions between Bitcoin and the US dollar are unreportable transactions.
W. Guys, multiple W's from our man here, Robert Kennedy. Moving over, finally, by the way, one of the last highlights here, just from a man worth 100, or a company worth 108 billion. The CEO of that company, Vanik, says the following.
This crowd might not like this, but the way I look about Bitcoin is it's sort of like evolving.
I believe, by the way, he's the chief executive officer for this company, which is basically one of the world's leading investment funds.
And growing up, right? So maybe it's a teenager now. It's not fully formed because so many investor classes haven't really joined. The toughest allocation question I have, and I know a lot of individuals think about this as well, is why should I be selling Bitcoin? If I believe the super bull case, why am I constantly selling into this bull market? I mean, we just came out with research that talked about a price close to $3 million a coin in the scenario where it's adopted as a reserve asset globally. Now, that's very speculative, and that would be extreme adoption, but that's where professional investors like us in our day jobs say, oh no, you've got to do mean variance optimization, you can't hold too much. And everyone I meet at Bitcoin conferences owns way more in their own portfolio. And I always say, wait a minute, I always want to tell people what I'm doing personally because they should know, right?
Well, what are you doing personally?
I'm like way over 30%.
Okay. Wow. All right.
W. That's W, guys. This is very good. This is bullish for Bitcoin. Speaking of bullish, ladies and gentlemen, we're having states in the in America literally starting to buy up Bitcoin ETFs, ladies and gentlemen. So you can see here, state of Michigan adds Bitcoin ETFs to its pension fund. This goes to 6.6 million purchase, guys. Oh my God, hold on. I would want to get my pensions paid in Bitcoin, of course. That's a no-brainer. Okay, another one here. Bitcoin miner company Marathon buys 100 million worth of Bitcoin, will once again adopt the full hodl strategy. Shout out to them, by the way. One of the leading companies with, you know, Bitcoin mining and stuff like that. Super cool stuff. This is huge. You know what I mean? Like, this is huge. 100 million purchase of Bitcoin and then doing the hodl strategy. We're having a lot of great news right now, guys. Honestly, kind of very promising for the next, you know, few months to almost a year basically into the bull run. So I'm really, really excited. We even have Ethereum flag on Wall Street. Now, this is even better news for me because, of course, I want Ethereum to go up. And I think, obviously, Ethereum ETFs, it will slowly get into full effect. You know what I mean? Getting the volume, getting the, you know, the confidence from the institutional investors, which clearly we're seeing right in front of us. And Bitcoin as well. Anything is good for the crypto. You know what I mean? Like, even me as a Pulsechain investor, if Bitcoin becomes bullish, that's really good for me because, of course, we're all in this together, basically. You know what I mean? We're all, this is one industry. And as I mentioned, Hart's Law, etc., etc. So that's what we really like. It legitimizes the blockchain world, and I really like that, to be honest. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we're in here because, you know what I mean, we want to work smart, not hard. Okay, it really is an instrument for you to make money, for you to believe in something, for you to be part of something that is meaningful. You know, obviously away from the fiat system, we can't fully trust in that. You want to diversify, right? You want to have different, for example, pools of money here and there, of course. So yeah. And then finally, I just wanted to make this tweet, by the way. I made this graph myself, so we're going to be checking that in a second. So if you are new to my channel, definitely go follow my Twitter, link in the description. But I just made this tweet. I decided to just tweet it in the video. Pulsechain will create new millionaires this cycle. Tell me which one is more likely to do a 10x plus this cycle, Ethereum or Pulse? Okay, it's quite simple as that. Of course, Ethereum could do a 10x. Not in this bull run. 10x is absolutely crazy, but Pulsechain easily can do a 10x due to the fact that, you know, it is not mainstream, due to the fact of, you know, market cap and liquidity ratios. Simple as that. Okay, or just generally, I mean, liquidity. Comparing it to the liquidity of Ethereum, you know what I mean, the maturing kind of effect, the diminishing returns, which one is a cycle, you know what I mean, like basically Ethereum is a cycle 3. Some people call it the cycle 3 curse, forget about that. Pulsechain is technically a cycle 2, you know what I mean, but it's in its first bull run, basically, right? If you would like to retire this bull run, you're gonna need to invest in the leverages of Ethereum. Okay, not financial advice, but just don't mid-curve it. So this is the graph that I made. Let me know what you guys think here. So you got this this guy here with a room temperature IQ. I like number go up. I believe in something. He doesn't know what he does believe, but I believe in something. Okay, still gets a W. And you got this, the mid-curver, right? Waiting for a 2x to jeet, right? To cut even with the sacrifice rate. I'm okay with retiring at 70. Do you have a vegan menu? Okay, and now you got the absolute smart people. Information asymmetry. Richard Hart needs me. The chosen one. What would Richard Hart say? You know what I mean? So let me know what you guys think. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This has kind of been, or actually, apologies, I actually didn't even get to the price predictions of the rest. PDAI, guys. Goal is to get it to $1. Absolutely believing into this. Like, this is absolutely amazing. One of the, you know, main narratives of Pulsechain, honestly. 385x to $1. I remember this used to be around 100 to 10x to $1. So yeah, this is great opportunities right now. And as I mentioned, INC to $300, that's basically 150x from the price that we have, or actually not 150 anymore. It's 100x from where we are almost right now, 106x. So not bad at all. Is very achievable in my opinion. Not financial advice, that's kind of my prediction. And of course, guys, we spoke a lot about Bitcoin. I want to talk about Richard Hart's Bitcoin, which is PWBTC, the wrapped Bitcoin on PulseChain that hasn't reached parity yet. Imagine turning back time and having that chance to not miss out on Bitcoin in the early days, okay, instead of spending time playing Minecraft. Okay, we're here now, you're watching my video now, you have the information asymmetry. We know about PulseChain. 99% of the crypto investors, crypto traders, the institutional investors, the retail investors that haven't made money don't know about this yet. Okay, so we are in here where we know it's a literal 393x away to parity with Bitcoin. Okay, when retail investors will be happy to come in, and it will probably be like a nice little 10x away from parity, and they're gonna be like, oh my god, I've just made so much money. Do you know what I mean? Like this is the dynamics I'm talking about here. We're super early, and of course the fact that what makes PWBTC super bullish is because of the supply. Okay, it's not 21 million like Bitcoin, where it's almost 21 million. It's actually 154,000. Now of course this is because it forked their true wrapped Bitcoin on Ethereum, right? And then this number is basically what it needs to keep track with the mints and the burns, right? With real Bitcoin and then wrapped Bitcoin as it mints and burns it, etc. So this is why we're at the 154,000. Super exciting. This is Richard Hart's Bitcoin, and of course Richard Hart, actually when we look into the holders, that's a Richard Hart wallet right there, guys. 21% is holding PWBTC, 21% of the token supply. So even less tokens in circulation. That's what we want. Beautiful stuff. And I guess this might count as an OA address. I'm not 100% sure if this categorizes as OA or just a Richard Hart wallet. Don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Guys, I'm going to end the video there. Super bullish on PulseChain Hex. Again, price prediction for this, guys, a combined, honestly, you want me to keep it conservative, a combined price of PHEX and EHEX of around $1 or 50 cents maybe, like 25 cents each or something like that. Looking into the ratios of PHEX to EHEX is around 1 to 3 or 1 to 4. So you guys, if I'm talking about $1 total, it'll be around 75 cent PHEX, 25 cent EHEX. That'll be absolutely amazing. I'm super bullish on EHEX as well because of the thin liquidity. Yes, I understand that Richard Hart is not going to spend or buy back EHEX with the sacrifice wallets. He's probably going to do that all in just PulseChain, of course. But you just never know. What if he does a small buy in EHEX and reignites something, guys? You know what I mean? Like, I'm buying and waiting rather than waiting and buying. So keep that in mind. Guys, I'm going to end the video there. I really hope you guys have a great weekend. I'm going to literally go to sleep after uploading this. I'm really sleepy. But I really appreciate you guys. You guys are amazing. And definitely subscribe for more videos like this. I have tons of great videos that I'm working on in the background. Okay, I'm doing research and stuff like that. So I'm going to speak with you guys later. Take care. Bye-bye.